What's up, everybody? This review, we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Shadow Tracker. This figure, I believe, is a Walmart exclusive, and I ended up picking him up just a little bit later. Their distribution is kind of weird, and always has been. I don't know, people get different figures in the order. They got multiples. It was just all over the place. But here is the front of the box. It is not windowed at all, which I dislike. You never know what you're gonna get inside of there, so I'm hoping when I open this that he is in there. But there's the front of the packaging. Nice picture. Shot of his accessories, his compound bow, knife, arrow, axe, his quiver, and alternate face mask, which I'm ready to check those bad boys out. So we got the side with some artwork, 108. The back with those same accessories, a little bit of the details. Other side. And let's get them open and check them out. All right, so here he is outside of the packaging, and when you open it up, he's got the locker, 108. Got his name on there. Also comes with the bag, you know, his accessories in there. Then he comes with, this is what he actually is tied down to, which has really cool artwork. I've seen some guys keep that artwork and make some pretty cool displays out of it. And there he is, standing there as he was tied down into that box, which he looks really cool. His accessories, we have the compound bow, really cool. We got his quiver. We got an axe. We have 2 face plates for him. I believe these just slide right on over. You got this cool one. That's pretty awesome. And then you got this translucent yellow. Really cool. Got the arrow. This part right here that attaches to his compound bow. And then you got this curved blade. Pretty cool. Now the quiver doesn't have any paint details on there, but it does have texturing in there into that bag. Looks really nice. The arrows are plain. It's just solid color. It probably could have benefited from some paint on there. Especially you got those awesome details. I mean, the feathers don't have any paint or anything like that. The bag is just plain. Compound bow. This is gonna go right over there. Pretty plain. This does pull back a little bit. Not actual string or anything like that. A little flexibility up here, but not much. The detail in this skull looks pretty cool. There's like, I don't know, it looks like technology in there. I'm sure he's coming off like a predator, you know? Really cool. You got some details in there. I don't know if you can really, yeah, I could probably see that, okay? Really nice. And I like this face. Nice skull. It's not a plain looking skull either. It's got a nice brown wash in there. Got those teeth. They're really cool. I like that. The arrow, the one loose arrow. The axe, solid black, no details. Again, could have used a little bit of a wash or maybe a little bit of silver, dry brushing over it. His curved blade has the silver, which is nice. I'd have been a little disappointed if that was solid black also. But he's got these straps down there that don't have any detail on it either. And that's it for his accessories. So for Shadow Tracker himself, he looks really cool. He looks like a guy that's been, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say like a predator, but maybe like a tale from the jungles. It looks like somebody that survives in there, and when you see him, you're probably not going to be able to speak about it. Last thing you see. But it looks really cool. He's got these long dreads. They're like this gray. I think it could have used with a little bit of a wash. It's got a little bit of different paint in there. The front part's a little more gray, and then the rest is like this weird, not quite matte black, but maybe like a matte gray. So there's a little more paint done up front on top. You got that cool little skull mask right there. It's got some green wash in there. You got this solid vest that doesn't really give. You got this necklace with some bones, skull on the shoulder, a little bit of paint on this vest, but not a lot. Could have used some more detailing brought out because it's got texturing in there. The skull has a little bit of brown in there. So far, it looks like everything with the bones, except for the necklace, have like some kind of a wash to it to try to make it look like bones. Green pants. Looks like these plates are molded into the legs, but this strap is not. That's free floating, but it's holding pretty good. You got this rope around his waist with the fur. It has like little animal print on there. Pretty nice. You got the knee pads, but the knee joint is actually molded in black. So it kind of breaks the sculpt a little bit. I mean, he's got black and green going anywhere, so maybe it's like a welcome thing. You got armor, shin armor. You got these flames on his feet with a hinge and pivot. So, I mean, I don't understand it, but pretty cool. I guess the bottom of the sculpt looks good. Bones on the wrist. 2 trigger finger hands. And these bands around the bicep are sculpted on there. So that's his overall look. Oh, it's got that little bit of yellow there. I mean, really cool design. The paint choices, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. A little strange, I guess. But I don't know where they get his design from. I don't remember him when I was younger, so it could be like a newer series, new release line when I wasn't collecting 3 3/4 no more. So I'm not sure. Maybe a comic book thing that I'm not sure of. So very interesting. So here we're going to check out his articulation. So from the side, his head only looks down that far. Like non-existent. It looks up like non-existent, really. It barely moves on its ball peg. There's no hinge in there. Moves left to right. You've got T-pose, which this shoulder piece flexes to let you get up in there and move that arm. But that's about, I want to say maybe that's as far as it's going. Oh, right there. So it gets stuck on there's a floating disc in there for his extra joint in there. And you have to kind of force it through there and it goes underneath. So you can get the arms raised pretty good. Upper bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows. We've got vertical hinge on this hand and not on that one. So vertical hinges on both hands. You got a ball joint waist, which is, there might be another joint underneath there, but you can't do anything with it because of this vest. But he only goes, he can rotate. Leans back about that far, leans forward about that far. Hip joints. The left leg gets hindered by the this plastic part that's supposed to be the animal print. You got upper thigh cut, which I like it. It actually cuts here on this one where the sculpt is. Both of them for that band is. Double jointed pinless knees. Boot cut. Then the ankle hinge and pivot. So not bad. I would say by now it's like standard articulation that we expect. Kind of wish there was able to get a little more motion out of that one, but that vest is pretty sturdy. Here is Shadow Tracker with his compound bow in his hand. And then this arrow. It's not really an arrow holding hand, kind of like the Storm Shadow had. It's just a trigger finger hand. But I'm sure if you wanted to, you can kind of make it fit or work. You know, you just got to really squeeze it in there. But, you know, I'm not going to mess with that too much. I got his axe in its little sheath here. But his knife, his curved blade, doesn't really have a place to go, at least not that I'm seeing. Maybe you can, like, you know, force it into one of these spots or something like that, but it just seems a little kind of out of place, but maybe that's where it goes. I don't know. I may leave it there just because it holds it there, but I'm not sure that is even where it goes. It just seems weird, like, to reach back and maybe cut yourself or something. But I'll leave it there. Now here he is with his yellow mask. And I believe they just slide right on. And they just hold with the tension. So that is him with that mask. Looks pretty cool. I like it, you know, and you can, when you really, you know, see it in hand, you can see the technological parts in there, so who knows. I'm assuming it is very Predator-like, you know. He's picking up like heat signatures or something with it. But it looks pretty cool. Not bad. And then we'll take that off for the skull mask, which I think looks a little more primal. Like this dude lives out here. He's got knowledge that's been passed down through the village. Very good at what he does. It's very cool looking. I'm probably going to, I don't know. Actually, I don't know which one to put on there. Well, I like this one. Having that yellow one on kind of really stood out to me. Maybe I'll just alternate it. This arrow goes into, it does actually fit into his quiver. So I'm gonna leave that in there. And pretty cool, because he pretty much holds everything on him. Like all of his accessories and everything like that. It's just the difference of the mask, which one you want to put on there. Which actually is pretty cool because you can, if you were able to or wanted to, you can get a couple of this guy and army build him with different looks. because you have this mask, the skull mask, and then you have the look that he originally came with. So, however you want to display him. Put this one back on. So, really, really cool. I'm gonna get some other figures out and we'll take a look at them and do some comparisons. So here is our Shadow Tracker with Nagahide and Storm Shadow. All three of them have bows. Nagahide's equipment is pretty much everything that Shadow Tracker had, because I believe Shadow Tracker came out first. And I believe he's the first one with this loadout and with the quiver like that. So you can see his bow, and then we can see Nagahide's, which he just came out not too long ago. But his has the green painted on there with the black to give it a little bit more style, differentiate it, update it. It looks really good. His quiver is also green, but it has the brown for the feathers and brown painting on that. Versus Shadow Tracker just has plain molded, you know, the quiver, the arrows, everything. So no detail in there. But I do believe he was first, or I know he was first. I just don't remember if anybody else used that bow before him. Not off the top of my head like that, but yeah, the Nagahide, you know, you can see what happens when you add a little bit of detail to there. And then Storm Shadow has a bow, but his is very different style. It even has this place here for the arrow to slide into. And he has this hand, this arrow out, where his fingers are like that. And you can see he has a spot for the arrow to slide through, just like that. So true, like, arrow hand, which is really cool. But this is them together. And Shadow Tracker, his legs are a little separated right there. Probably just a little bit taller than Storm Shadow. Just a little bit, barely. If anything, because they might be exactly the same. Here is Shadow Tracker next to the Valaverse trigger. We've got Outback, and then we've got Recondo. Now, the trigger looks to be the smallest one out of all of them. I guess bulk-wise, and, well, bulk-wise, I guess he's the same as Recondo almost. But height-wise, he's definitely the shortest out of all four of those. And Outback and Recondo are Joes that I figured might come across Shadow Tracker, you know. Those guys are going to be all probably tracking each other down. And just for something a little different, here's the Shadow Tracker next to the Mythic Legion's Unknown one, and next to a Motu He-Man, which he is skinnier than the Unknown one, but a little bit taller, but shorter than the He-Man. So overall, I think this is an awesome figure. I don't say awesome. I think he's pretty good though. He could have used some extra paint on his vest to kind of make that pop. He could have had the extra detailing in the arrows or the bow, something like that. And I mean, they did do the little wash for his skulls, which is awesome. I'm glad they did that, just to not make it plain. But I mean, you've got this rope here around his waist that just looks kind of plain. Doesn't even really come across as rope. You don't get those details brought out. And other than that, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. It's a different look. Definitely new for me. I do like that skull mask. Comes with this yellow one, the clear one, which is really cool. I'm glad I can fit most of his accessories on him. Only thing left is just that one single mask. So, pretty good figure. Not my most favorite. I am glad to have it though. I might grab another one or two if I can, maybe at some point. I'm not in a rush or anything like that, but because of those different masks, again, you can army build in a way, which is really cool. So you definitely can have fun with it. Good figure. So that's it for this review. I'll catch y'all in the next one.